In the movie, a group of children finds themselves trapped on a bus with a serial killer who has just murdered their driver and threatens their lives. However, things take a turn when a more powerful and terrifying entity appears and kills the serial killer. Keep watching to see if the children can save themselves and escape this nightmare. At the start of the movie, a dark forest appeared on the screen. A child ran away, looking scared of someone. Then the scene changed to a red bus driving through the jungle. The bus soon stopped because a tree blocked the road. The driver chose another path, unaware of the danger ahead. They saw some skeletons and many trees were cut down. Suddenly, a loud noise scared the child on the bus. The driver had to stop quickly. When he got off, he found a dead deer in front of the bus. As he turned around, he was shocked. When he got back on the bus, a man stood behind him, pointing a gun at the driver. He threatened all the kids and told them to sit down. Everyone listened to him. Then, one child remembered reading about this man in the news. He was a serial killer who escaped from prison days before. The scary part was that this man only killed teenagers. He claimed he was a psychopath. He forced everyone to throw their phones out the window while the driver kept driving. The driver missed a sign that warned he was going into an empty military zone. This area had been used for research years ago, but no one lived there now. Inside a tunnel, the bus stopped suddenly. The driver discovered the engine was broken. The killer thought the driver was tricking him. He then held a child at gunpoint and ordered the driver to get out and fix the bus. He warned that if anyone tried to trick him, he would kill the child. Suddenly, the lights in the tunnel went out. Everyone felt scared right away. They began to hear frightening noises in the dark. The killer ordered the driver to check what was happening. The driver grabbed his flashlight and moved forward into the darkness. As he walked closer, he saw a shadow. When he got near, he discovered a terrifying monster. He screamed in fear, but the monster grabbed him and killed him. The people inside the bus watched in horror. The killer then rushed into the bus with a girl. Everyone screamed. The killer told them to be quiet so the monster couldn't see or hear them. He tried to start the bus quickly but realized the keys were missing. They were still in the driver's hand, which the monster had taken. The killer told the children to get the keys from the driver. When the girl went to get the keys, she was shocked to find the driver dead. She couldn't believe her eyes, and tears filled her eyes. But she knew this was not the time to cry. She carefully took the keys from the driver and returned to the bus. Inside, she felt strange. When the other kids asked about the driver, she shook her head. He was gone. This made all the children feel sad. The killer then told a boy named Reggie to start the bus, but it was broken and he couldn't start it. The killer threatened him, saying that if he didn't start the bus, he would kill everyone. Reggie felt angry and began to argue with the killer. When he had the chance, another child pushed the killer from behind, making him fall. Reggie quickly grabbed the gun from the killer's hand and pointed it at him. The killer laughed, saying, "You can't kill me. It takes a lot of courage to do that, and you don't have it." Before the boy could do anything, he suddenly heard a voice from the roof of the bus. This voice frightened everyone. The killer quickly took the gun back from him. The noises from inside the bus grew louder, making all the children scared. In his anger, the killer got off the bus and shouted, demanding whoever was hiding to come out and face him. Suddenly, he stopped speaking. A strange smile appeared on his face, and then someone attacked him. The attacker separated the killer's head from his body. The children inside the bus were shocked and fell silent. They saw the creature holding the killer's head and noticed its terrifying features. The monster had many tentacles that it had used to grab the man's head. The children didn't know what to do. They decided to stay in the bus to protect themselves, but they couldn't hear any strange sounds from outside. Then, the bus door opened with a creak, and they saw the huge hands of the monster on the bus seat. The monster had entered the bus. To escape, they tried to run out the other door, but it wouldn't open. One of the kids had a flashlight. When he accidentally shined the light on the monster, he noticed it seemed afraid of the brightness. Taking advantage of this, he kept the light pointed at the monster. Finally, when the bus door opened, they hurried out and ran toward the light, leading them to a bunker. Inside the bunker, they found a room with a map showing the entire area. They realized they were in a military base. If it was a military base, there might be lights and a control panel. They knew they needed to turn on the control panel to keep the monster away and to escape safely. They found the control panel and made a plan using the map to locate it. Nolan and his partner went to search for the power source. Meanwhile, the other three waited nervously. Eventually, one of the boys said he needed to go to the bathroom. The girl was too scared to go alone, so Reggie decided to accompany her. He chatted with her, but she didn't respond because she was anxious. After a while, when Queenie turned to him, She noticed something strange and realized she was alone. Panic struck Reggie, and he yelled for Queenie, searching everywhere for her. His other friends soon realized she was missing, and they both began looking for her. Finally, they found Queenie. But a terrifying monster was about to bite her neck. She looked unconscious and helpless. Reggie quickly distracted the monster by showing it a flame, while his friend pulled Queenie away from danger. The three of them started to run, forgetting that Reggie was not with them. The monster had knocked the torch from Queenie's hand, and it fell into the water, going out. Now the monster turned to attack her again. Strange things fell from its mouth, splattering blood on Reggie's face. Queenie and her friend finally noticed him, but they were too late to help. Before the monster could eat Reggie, the lights suddenly turned on. The bright lights scared the monster and it let Reggie go. Their friends had finally found the generator. Nolan and his companions had turned it on, and they discovered a nearby room. Inside, they saw a dead body and many pictures and notes. The notes contained information about the monster's nature, suggesting that someone had done extensive research but had been unable to kill it. Reading all this wasn't their priority. They just wanted to escape from the place quickly. As they turned around, they noticed a strange shadow in the distance. Both of them felt scared and stopped breathing, thinking it might be another monster. But it turned out to be their three friends, and they felt happy to see them. However, that happiness was short-lived. They noticed a deep wound on Queenie's neck, bleeding from a bite made by the monster. They worried that she might get infected and turn into a monster herself. One of them suggested they shouldn't keep Queenie with them, but they decided against that. They wanted to stay close to Queenie to understand what might happen to her, so they went back to the same room. They found many notes about the monster. Among these notes, they picked up a notebook and began to read. It told the story of a boy who loved to explore new places with his sister. One day while exploring, they came across a military base. The boy who wrote this story kept looking at the map while his sister moved ahead to read. Suddenly, he was shocked when he saw something strange in the tunnel. His brother was standing behind him, but when he turned to look, it was too late. He heard a scream coming from the tunnel, which scared him. Instead of trying to save his sister, he ran into the jungle to save himself. This was the same scene they had seen at the start of the movie. The boy escaped that day, but the memory stayed with him. He felt guilty that his sister died because of his carelessness. Now, he wanted to take revenge on whatever had killed her. Even after many years, he could not forget anything. He researched the monster and planned how to kill it. He built a machine for this purpose, but before he could use the machine, the monster learned about him and killed him. Using the notes, the teenagers discovered that once the monster harmed someone or tasted their blood, it would eventually kill that person. They decided to save Queenie and finish the work the man had started. They wanted to complete the machine and kill the monster. Queenie insisted that no one should put themselves in danger for her. However, her friends were kind and promised that they would all escape together. They hugged and began working on their plan. After some time, they finished the machine and it was working. They felt happy about this, but the main task remained. They needed to lure the monster in front of the machine. They set a trap using a cloth soaked in Queenie's blood, placing it in an open area to attract the creature. They also positioned Queenie a short distance away to guide the monster to the right spot for the machine to work. The monster came as planned, following the scent of the blood, but it realized that it was not Queenie. Meanwhile, Nolan prepared to activate the machine, but it got stuck. The monster approached Queenie, looking for her. Just as it was about to attack, the machine finally triggered. The bright lights made the monster leave Queenie, and they all ran out of the area. As they fled, one friend stabbed the monster in the stomach, but it did not hurt the creature much. They realized their only option was to escape. They ran with the torches, but the monster chased them. Queenie and her friend got out of the tunnel, but worried about their friends who had not yet emerged. The monster stayed behind because of the light. At that moment, three boys rushed to the end of the tunnel and set the monster on fire with their torches. The monster burned and died. Their plan worked, and they saved their lives. They felt relieved knowing they had saved themselves and others who might have died. They remembered their driver who had asked them a riddle. What is that thing that can help us in any situation and get us out of our problems? At first, they didn't know the answer, but now they understood that courage can help a person in any situation. The driver, even in his last moments, taught them a lesson that would guide them in life. The movie ended there,